Hi, welcome to my first video, um, my first video blog, first part, first episode. I decided not to go into a certain topic right now. I wanted to share with you some things about me before we start to do stuff. Yeah, as I said in the introduction, I'm 22 years old, student, etc., etc. And you can see what's written in the bar down there. It's not just student, also a writer. Actually, it's a hobby, not a profession. I started writing in 5th grade. I guess it was... how old was I? Oh, I don't care. I don't know what... I guess I was 12? Something like that. Okay. And how did it happen? I didn't know how. Just our German teacher gave us lots of homework to write story with some words she gave us. Yeah, we should use those words to create a story. And I noticed that I liked doing it, and it was okay the way I did it. And I know it wasn't just that I did it okay, I did it better than the others. So after some homeworks like that, I had the title the writer of the class. So when we got another homework to do, write a story, doesn't matter what, or even if it mattered, what's all about, it didn't really matter. I wrote, and it always was great. So compared to the others, I was kind of good. And yeah, that continued until the 8th grade. And then the whole time I wrote stories. I can remember having to write a fairy tale, or okay, it was kind of a weird story. Let's call it a weird story with headless people doing weird stuff and so on and so forth. And my father said, "What? That's what you have to do in school?" And I said, "Yeah, what the heck? It's homework. I don't know what to do." And he said, "Oh, God, you're screwed. You're so screwed." And I said, "Why?" "Well, when you learn to write stuff like that, then you start to become weird too." Or yeah, education. That's stuff. But well, it didn't have a sort of big impact about on me. So I wasn't completely gone crazy, and yeah, I moved on. Was just once writing that weird story, and it sort of passed. And now then I remember one uh, in the 8th grade we had to write a Christmas story, was for Christmas, and we had to use some words. She gave us some words to use for our story, and it was okay. Okay, I wrote the story was about some friends in a village surrounded by hills, and it was kind of great. The whole thing about this village going through a war. Actually, I imagined like the Second World War, but because they were hidden between these hills, um, they haven't had any problems or something like that. They well, they didn't participate to the war because it was like they were disconnected from the world, and there was like something that has how should I put it, to not yeah, it was not destroyed by the war, and it was completely safe. Yeah, that was the word. And then it was Christmas, and the people were so happy because they didn't know it was war, and so on and so forth, and they were singing Christmas carols, and it was all wonderful. Well, I wrote that story, and I gave it to my teacher, and I was not the only one who gave it. The whole class had to write, and yeah, it was a homework. And she kind of read them. Yeah, she read them until next class, and then it was kind of funny story. I had a very sadistic friend and colleague, and his name was Paul. He yeah, I can't I still can't imagine why he did wrote that, because he said it was Bin Laden, Osama, and so on and so forth, Saddam Hussein, and they were terrorists there. Yeah, he was kind of into that stuff, and killing people, war, and so on and so forth. Then she came, she said, "Oh man, you are so crazy," and so then after she read that story, she said, "Well, look at this. Thomas wrote about war, but it wasn't that crazy like you did." And yeah, I felt kind of, I don't know, so and yeah, it felt great to be in the middle of something, or to be recognized as something. Well, I wasn't a mediocre group member, so I had a title. Hey! But yeah, from 9th grade to 10th, I paused. It was over. I don't know why. Then in 11th grade, I started writing poems. I won't tell you why. Okay. There were some situations I couldn't deal with by shutting down, and I had to talk to someone. And it didn't work to talk to my father, my mother, well, parents or sons, other family members. No. I said, yeah, it's better to write it down, and it's like you're talking to someone. But well, I wrote them in Romanian. I don't know why. Perhaps because the situation was caused by a Romanian girl. Okay, I let it be. Yeah, and I wrote poetry. Well, it wasn't really poetry, more like sentences in verses, and I tried to make them rhyme. That's all. It was like a story in verses. Okay, ballads, not even ballads. And yeah, that's when I began with poetry, and it's kind of the only thing I ever finished, because I started with lots of novels. None was finished until now. I started another, not finished yet, and it's kind of hard to finish because sometimes you don't have time, and sometimes uh, you have other stuff in your head, or the ideas aren't coming. Well, I read something about that. When you are in lack of ideas, go take a walk. And I have a problem. I'm lazy. Yeah, I'm lazy to take a walk alone, or less. Although I like to have my uh, moments where I'm alone and quiet life. Yeah, and okay, 11th grade. How old was I then? 18? 17, 18, 18, 18. And yeah, I wrote poetry. As I said, it was kind of weird at the beginning. My first poem was like a story in verses and with rhyming, but it was completely about "Girl, you killed me," or "I'm so gonna kill you one day," are suffering, and "oh God, you broke my heart," and so on and so forth. Well, I couldn't write anything else. This situation wouldn't give me liberty to write something else because I was down. My moral was down, um, and well, I dealt like that with that situation, and well, it wasn't the greatest way to deal with it, but it worked. After all, I am still alive, and yeah. Well, 12th grade, I wanted to write a novel about gypsies. Why is that? No, I didn't want to show that I'm racist, and no, I hope I'm not. But actually, I had for um, like Cambridge. I had the yes, that's another version for German in German Cambridge stuff. Yeah. Yeah, and I had to do research about gypsies. Well, why? It was my subject, my topic. I had to write like 20 pages about it, and I started with history, traditions, and social life. Okay, that was very interesting for me. And I also needed topic about um, which we had to discuss. When you have something that's so clear that you don't have to discuss it because it's so clear, it's a fact, you can. And in the case of gypsies, there is this saying that they are thieves and how, what were they to? I've forgotten. Okay, well, they were thieves and so on and so forth, and murderers, and yeah, and that's kind of the stuff I was talking about, and it was a great thing because I've learned lots of things that way, and it's kind of the first research I did, and it was a great topic for a book, a novel. And what was it that I wanted to do? Well, I wanted to show people what I really discovered about them, what it was that brought us these ideas about them, because they are people too, but they weren't treated like people because they were too good. Yeah, for example, in Germany, they were the best uh, musicians, best blacksmiths, and all kinds of stuff they did. They were the best. And then the Germans, or well, it's not really only Germans who had problems. They stole, did things. Well, they stole their own children. How the heck? And they said then they blamed the gypsies because said. The gypsies stole our children, and they are, yeah, the whole gypsy war started, and then it was over for them. And today it's still the same freaking thing, and I hate it. And the gypsies are that crazy. How we someday sometimes say they're crazy. Why? I think they have turned into defense positions, and defense. How it's uh, a saying for me. I just invented it. Defense positions. They don't wanna get involved, but when you attack, they attack back, and that's how they defend. Or yeah, whatever. I hope world will be a better place someday. No, it won't. It won't. Yeah, well, back again. I was doing this research and I felt like, whoa, it's great. And then I've started to do things. Sorry, someone called me. Well, I started it, but never finished. As I said, I started lots of things, never finished, and I hate to let work unfinished. It's like with movies. I hate to start a movie and not finish it. Also, TV shows. I hate to start with the first season and not end it. Like, yeah, that's it. Yeah, then I started writing poetry in English, and I must say it's the use of English in poetry is a little bit easier for me. And well, if you want to read some of it, I have a group on Facebook with literature, poetry, and so on and so forth. Well, also statements. I count on originality, yeah, because I like to be original, not copy paste from some other guy or girl or woman. I like to show the world people who I actually am, not copy and paste from some other human being. Okay, yeah. And yeah, that's a group. It's in Romanian, the literature and stuff, the name, but I will put link to it in the description. If you want, you can access and see it. Well, then now I'm doing some creative writing exercises in German. Can be either way in English, Romanian, and so on and so forth. It doesn't matter after all. It's still creative writing, either in English, German, or Romanian. I'm honest, I write poetry in English and novels in German, and I kind of like that. Yeah, I observed that I have inspiration in English for poetry and in German for novels, stories, and so on and so forth. Romanian I had for poetry, but it's a little bit weird. It got weird for me because I was weird. Yeah. Well, for the start, for the beginning, it was great. It was kind of my first poems, and they were in Romanian, and they were kind of weird. Now they're weird for me, although maybe they're okay. But well, I can't say they're really poetry. Well, and yeah, that's all about what it means to be a writer for me. It's, once again, it's a hobby, nothing more. It's not a profession yet, and it can't be a profession because you can't earn that much with it. So profession, something else. Yeah, you can focus on it when you do studies. You can do exercises, like I said, the creative writing and so on and so forth, to get used to the language in poetry and the others. Read English poetry. Well, read poetry. That's the stuff, after all. And for novels, read stories, novels, and get used to that style, and get used to writing like that way. Yeah, and that's about all I wanted to say in this video. It's the first one, remember. Okay. For those who ask themselves, what's that there? That's my bed. Don't have fantasies. It's my bed. Only I sleep there. Okay. Well, then I can wait to hear your opinions about this first video, and yeah, you can write a comment down there, and we shall consider it. And yeah, have a nice day. Bye.